Hi guys and welcome to Strength the Universe. All branches of the military have tough entry requirements to ensure that only the strongest and fittest candidates get through. Those who are successful are further wilted down by several weeks of basic training. But the candidates who've made it into today's video not only have full-time military careers, but are also some of the best strongmen, powerlifters and bodybuilders in the world. But who will come out on top as the world's strongest serviceman? We start the video with Jesse Ventura, who served in the United States Navy from 1969 until 1975 during the Vietnam War but did not see combat. He graduated as a Navy SEAL in Bud Class 58 in December 1970 and was part of Underwater Demolition Team 12. From late 1975 to 1980, Jesse was a bodyguard for the Rolling Stones, and during this same period of time he would start his career as a professional wrestler. Initially under the ring name Jesse the Great Ventura, before being given the nickname The Body after he signed with AWA. It would be under this moniker that Jesse would wrestle and commentate for the WWF and WWE. During his wrestling career with the WWF, Jesse was billed to stand 6 foot 4 inches tall and weigh 120 kilograms or 264 pounds. Later, in an interview with Muscle and Fitness, he would state that he could squat 250 kilograms or 550 pounds for 3 repetitions and deadlift over 600 pounds. Jesse would go on to have a very varied career, making his acting debut in the 1987 smash hit The Predator and later in the same year as Captain Freedom in The Running Man, before entering politics in 1991 when he was elected as the mayor of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, and later the governor of Minnesota. In 6th is Cedric McMillan, who joined the army after graduating high school and later moved to Columbia, South Carolina, where he was a sergeant first class and an instructor at Fort Jackson. Cedric first started lifting weights at 13 years old, after being inspired watching Arnold in Conan the Barbarian when he was just 8. Cedric would first compete in 2003, but due to his commitments to the Army he wouldn't win his pro card until the 2009 Florida State Nationals. At his peak he stood 6 foot 1 inches tall and in the off-season weighed 140 kilograms or 310 pounds. And while Cedric's focus was always on bodybuilding as opposed to strength, he managed some impressive weights, including 184 kilograms or 405 pounds on the incline press, and a squat of 225 kilograms or 495 pounds with excellent form. He would go on to have considerable success, most notably taking wins at the 2016 Leveroni Pro Classic and the 2017 Arnold's. Cedric would sadly pass away of a heart attack on the 12th of April 2022. In 5th is Chef Andre Rush, who enlisted in the US Army in 1993, in which he served for 23 years as a Master Sergeant. He began to cook at the White House in 1997, where he served the presidential administrations of Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama and Donald Trump. At his peak, Andre was stated to be 5 foot 10 inches tall and weigh over 136 kilograms or 300 pounds. It would be in a 2010 article in the Progress Index that he was reported to bench press 274 kilograms or 605 pounds. However, after he found fame, in an interview with Dave Palumbo on RX Muscle, Andre made the following claims.
What's your best bench press at this point?
Besides the 7?
Yeah, have you done, is that 700 your max?
7 was my max.
Now what's your best squat and then deadlift?
You know what? I only went up to probably like 7 something on deadlift.
Yeah.
And squat was probably around the same thing or so. It was like maybe 6 something, 7 something. I never tried it, right. So that was just reps.
In 4th is Dan Grigsby, who enlisted as a US Marine in 2015 before being promoted to the rank of Sergeant in 2019. During the 10 years in which he's been a competitive powerlifter, he's competed in 4 different weight classes in both the Raw and with Wraps divisions. Danny stands 5 foot 11 inches tall, and as of March 2022, he competed at a peak of 127 kilograms or 278 pounds. Danny recorded his best lifts while competing at the 2022 WRPF American Pro, where he achieved a raw squat of 350 kilograms or 772 pounds, followed by a bench press of 207.5 kilograms or 457 pounds, and finished the competition with a new all-time world record raw deadlift of 487.5 kilos or 1,074.7 pounds, as well as the second highest raw total of all time in the 275 pound weight class. In third is Anthony Fuhrman, who joined the US Army Infantry in 2006, in which he served for 15 years, eventually being recruited to the Army's Warrior Fitness team. During that time, Anthony, who stands 5'11" inches tall and competes at 105 kilograms or 230 pounds, briefly took part in weightlifting and powerlifting, but his passion was always in Strongman, in which he would earn his pro card in 2017. Later that year, he placed third at the Under 105 World's Strongest Man, and he would go on to win the title for 2 years consecutively in 2018 and 19. During that time, Anthony built up to a 320 kilogram or 705 pound squat, a 229 kilogram or 505 pound bench press, and a 380 kilogram or 838 pound deadlift. He would also take part in the first season of the Titan Games. In second is Mikhail Shivlyakov, who was drafted into the military in 1998 to the Baltic Fleet, where he received the rank of Junior Sergeant and was later selected to serve in the Marines. Shortly after completing his military service, Mikhail started to compete in powerlifting in the 125 kilogram weight class in single-ply equipment, in which he achieved a squat of 370 kilograms or 816 pounds, and a bench press of 285 kilograms or 628 pounds. Mikhail would reach his peak from 2018 onwards, at which time he stood 6'1" inches tall and weighed 140 kilograms or 310 pounds. In that year, he recorded a third place finish at the Arnold Strongman Classic, followed by winning the Arnold South America. He would also achieve a 418 kilogram or 922 pound raw deadlift to win the WRPF World Championships. In 2020, he would set a world record for the Masters deadlift, with this pull of 436 kilograms or 961 pounds. And finally, he won Forza Brutus Strongman competition in both 2020 and 21. And finally, we come to Odie Wilson, who spent 12 years in the military, 8 of which were spent overseas in Germany, Japan and Korea. Standing 6'8" inches tall and tipping the scales at 181 kilograms or 400 pounds, he earned the nickname The Nightmare, which suited his career as a security guard and bodyguard to various celebrities, including Michael and Janet Jackson. Odie set multiple world records throughout his career, including at the 1989 Armed Forces Championships, where he achieved a squat of 454 kilograms or 1,001 pounds in single-ply equipment, followed by an equipped bench press of 251 kilograms, and finally he pulled 397 kilograms or 876 pounds in the deadlift to achieve a new all-time total world record of 2,430 pounds. The following year, Odie made his World's Strongest Man debut, where his superior static strength saw him leading the competition by 5.5 points going into the final event, that would be controversially changed to a carry-on race over a 200-metre track that favoured the athleticism of the much smaller John Paul Sigmarsson and resulted in Odie losing the title by just half a point.
I feel that when it comes down to pure strength, I am the strongest man on this planet. And I'm coming back to this competition if I'm invited, and I promise you that I will be standing in number 1.
Odie would indeed return to the following year's competition in an attempt to win the crown that many believed he should have won the year prior, but he ultimately suffered a back injury and finished down in 5th place. He would sadly pass away from a cardiac arrest just over 2 weeks later at just 37 years old.
That guy's a Superman or something, man. I don't know what the Icelanders be eating, but I need to go over there and try some of it, you know what I'm saying?
That brings me towards the end of the video, but please leave a comment below letting me know who you think should be considered as the strongest serviceman in the world. I've left credits along with my social media links in the description below, so please check those out and give them a follow. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching the video.